Okay, I want to show you guys how to set up your final exams in Schoology so that it properly syncs over to tech/eSchool. Hide this, please. What I've done is I've created a fake assignment in one of Miss Suarez's classes. I made sure to unpublish it just so her students won't be confused. I want to show you the settings and talk to you a little bit about something called an ungraded category if you guys were unaware of this option in Schoology. Okay, so all you would have to do is set up your assignment or your final exam however you would like in Schoology. You can set it up as an assignment. You can add assessment, whatever the case may be. If you've already done it, you might just have to change one thing. Okay, so under categories, normally we operate out of two grading categories because our grades are weighed 50-50 for each 6 weeks when it comes to daily grades and then major grades in the grade book. In this case, for final exams, we all know that final exams are weighed, or not just final exams, semester exams, midterms are all weighed a little differently. At this school year, I believe it's 85% for the 6 weeks grading periods, and then 15% for the final exam. That's pretty much how the weighing goes for these assignments. So what we don't want to happen is adding these final exams into Schoology and then having them sync over into tech or eSchool as a normal assignment, because then that would affect how your students' grades for these 6 weeks would turn out. And we don't want any of those issues because we all know we hate doing grade change forms. So here under category, I don't know if you've ever seen this before in your personal grade book, but Schoology has already created what we call an ungraded category. And so what that means is simply that whenever Schoology communicates with tech or eSchool, this particular assignment or any assignments that you have categorized as ungraded, it's not going to sync. It's going to show up for you and your students in Schoology. However, it's not going to count towards the weighing of their grades or their averages at all. So this is the perfect way to assign your students their final exams, however you're actually giving it to them, whether it's a test or whether it's a project based learning activity, anything. You would select ungraded here and then just save your changes. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like when it comes to syncing in the gradebook. Okay, so I'm going to go to the gradebook here. Okay, so from here, you can click this arrow situation here, cycle, and it will show you that it syncs directly to eSchool Plus, or you can click where it says view sync status log. If you haven't noticed, there's a red dot here that usually means that there's some type of error when it comes to communicating with eSchool. In this case, I'm already aware of that error because I created an ungraded assignment. So I'm going to click here, and you can also click this button here for syncing changes. I'm going to go down to the last page of this sync status log. And here is the final exam, the fake one that I created to show you guys how to set up your final exams for grading. If you can see, it says not yet synced, view error. If you hover your mouse over the red view error message, it says a category is required to sync. First assign a category to this assignment, then sync again. In this case, we do not want to assign a category for their final exam / midterm / a semester exams. Okay, we do not want this to happen because in tech, as I'm going to show you in a second, you're actually going to have to manually enter your final exam / semester exam / midterm grades by hand in the grading setup area, but it'll all make sense whenever we transition over to tech. Okay, so the goal here is to eliminate any errors when it comes to submitting your grades next week. We're all ready for the holiday, right? So I just want to make sure that everybody has what they need already in place prior to students taking their exams. So I'm just going to click done here. I'm going to take you over to Tech. It's been logged out. Let's sign in here. Thank you, Miss Brown, for letting me use your login because I no longer have classes, guys. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. Once you're in Tech, up here for grade reporting, you would simply click on Report Card. And once exams or the exam window opens up, you see the category here, this column that says EXM, that's for exam. This is where you're actually going to manually type in your students' exam grades from Schoology. If you were ever wondering if you could check to see which assignments you have marked as ungraded, or if you get any errors whenever it comes to syncing, here you can click this drop down menu here where it says all materials. Normally in your gradebook it shows all assignment categories, but you can click here where it says ungraded and it will populate any activities, any assignments that you currently have marked as ungraded as in your gradebook. Okay. In this case, this one's unpublished as well, just because I don't want it to cause any confusion for Ms. Suarez's students, okay? But back to Tech. So here in this window, like I said, whenever it's time for exams to start, that exam window opens up, then this will actually have blank boxes here like we normally do under the marking period for you to type in your scores. It's always been done this way, guys. We're not reinventing the wheel. But what I want to eliminate for you guys is in Schoology here, having this final exam or your final exam weighing into the actual marking period grades, because final exams are scored separately. As I said earlier, they're worth 15% of that student's overall grade for this semester. Okay. When it comes to, I also wanted to remind you guys that just to alleviate any potential stressors, what I would like for you guys to do is to manually go into each class period that you have in Schoology, and I want you guys to sync any and every change that you make in the grade book every single time. The downside to this is that eSchool doesn't automatically sync, or doesn't always automatically sync over to TAC. Sometimes you have to give it a little breathing room to work. Usually takes no more than 30 minutes, if that's the case, for an assignment to sync over to the grade book in TAC itself. Okay. What I do not want you guys doing is going in here in TAC and having to type in these assignments, right? So what ends up happening is if you create assignments that you already have in Schoology directly into the grade book here from TAC, it's going to double up, guys, and it's going to cause a bunch of problems for everyone. So please, 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 please do not go in and make extra work for yourself by creating assignments here directly in TAC when you already have them in Schoology. Let Schoology do the work for you, even if sometimes it wants to act a little fickle. Okay, just give it a minute, but it will work for you. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about how to communicate or how to sync your gradebook from Schoology over to TAC, how to make sure your final exam is being weighed properly, anything, shoot me an email and I'll be sure to get to you as soon as possible. Thanks.